Yo, what's going on? Thank you so much for joining the stream. It's the 1.3 stream, celebratory stream. My name is Daniel, aka Clock.
This is Long, Shadyk, Trey.
So we're the combat designers for Battle for the Grid. Thank you so much for joining us. I know that I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, we had a stream where we went over a bit preliminarily, is that a word? About the 1.3 changes, so we're not going to go straight up go over all the combat changes. What I will say though, in case you haven't joined, before I say anything, thanks everyone so much for your support, your patience. You know, Long and I and the rest of us here at the company, we are absolutely committed to making this game, you know, as great as it possibly can be, and this is like ongoing process, right? So we really appreciate all the feedback, all the support, all the content that everyone's creating, all the streaming is super appreciated, man. I was up until like 3 a.m. last night reading comments and all that, so thank you so much for that. So just really quick, Rose, can you put us on gameplay really quick? So if you notice, like a lot of there's a bit more screen shake on some of the hits. Of course, it depends on what hit it is. It sort of just like helps the impact, right? Another big change we have is weapon sparks. So if you see here gold, you know, this is light, this is medium, but just like Power Rangers, the weapons, once the weapons come out, sparks, same thing as red, of course. And another thing too is that we have a VFX that plays when you switch over, right? So no one gets confused on who's who, right? And to be honest, one of my main reservations before adding this was I was a bit worried that the takeover mix-ups would be seeable, but I'm sure you'll see when Long and I play.
You can't react to that. I already knew. Like,
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah,
Unless you like manually insert some pause in there, there's no way. It's just fast.
So yeah, the VFX, it really helps you know, everyone keep track, both the players and the viewers, but does not take away from the mix-ups. All will be getting mixed up just the same as before. And another big change we have is that it's more lenient, the OTG system, right? So anything that wall bounces, we can also OTG off of that with the super. Also, the new splat hit reaction we have. Oh, well, it's a bit slow. But yeah, so anything that does a splat or a wall bounce, right? So I should be able to just super over this, right? Is that gonna work? Yeah.
Theoretically.
Well, that worked, right. Yeah, so you can see the whole list of 1.3 changes. This is a pretty long laundry list of changes. If you go to battleforthegrid.com, go to the news section, just look for the 1.3 patch changes, patch notes. So without further ado, let's get into some new characters. I need to turn you on. Yeah, so Zeo Gold and Time First Pick, man, really awesome characters. I can't speak to how Shady feels about this, but you have a character like Gold or like Time First Pink, where the character is so cool, like you kind of get immersed in the character and start coming up with all these cool ideas. As much not only fan service, but it really motivated us to make these characters as sick as possible. So I hope everyone likes them. We've seen a lot of the feedback. I really appreciate all the feedback. I'm really glad that people are enjoying the characters. Let's go over Time Force Pink first. So I'd say Time Force Pink is mostly Long's conception, right? So you want to sort of tell us like where you started before you started implementing anything?
Oh yeah, I mean, like for real, like I just want to make a Marvel air dash character, and she seemed like a perfect candidate, right?
Yeah.
So she has an air dash, unlike most characters in the game, and she can actually EX out of it, and she's their Time Force powers, obviously, because I know all about the lore.
She's right now. She's the only character that has an air EX, so it doesn't take a whole bar. It takes half.
You can't see it right now because this meter is always going to be full, but you EX anytime during the air dash, she'll return to her initial air dash position. So you can like if I do an air dash and you do like down fierce, yeah. Well, yeah. All right. Hypothetically. Yeah. Yes. And another unique move she has is this vault. So this is Ford Special. Ford Special is this vault. It doesn't hit, but if you tap it twice, it turns to her anti-air. Her anti-air is obviously air attack invincible. But it's slower, but it has like a flash kick hitbox, you know, it's like pretty much like Guile hitbox. And her vault has normal jump properties. You can attack off of it. If you delay your attack and you cross up, it will autocorrect for you. And if you EX out of her vault, she does an automatic dash on the ground.
Okay, so she comes out of it already.
Yeah, she comes out dashing. So it's pretty tricky, especially because our game has like quasi hard knockdowns like this. So you can force them to like just hold that mix up.
Tricky Ricky.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, her neutral special is this boomerang attack. It's pretty much it has the highest durability as far as projectiles in the game. So if you throw your projectiles, it'll eat it up. As long as it's active, at least. So yeah, the point is to like, you know, at like around footsie range, you can never challenge her projectiles.
Yeah,
and it has a suction effect, and it links into whatever you want.
Do you think that the durability is strong enough to the point where she will give zoners a hard time? Like, right?
Yeah, that's the idea. Well, zoners are pretty good against her, but this is her only tool to deflect it. You know, because it's not like Virgil's carve, right, where she recovers or he recovers and he can do whatever he wants. She's stuck in this animation, so it's like one of those commitments.
So definitely a good move to use in combos too, right?
Yeah, for sure. So you can link off of it. You can add it to these.
So for those of you at home that are already playing with Jen, I personally have a hard time hitting that stand light.
Yeah, it's like a 2-frame link. It's intentionally difficult to pull off
for people to gate out people like me.
Yeah. Get good. That's her neutral. I mean, I really like this move because it's not obvious how good it is, but it's really good. You know, the hitbox is pretty big. It's just not easy to use, which I kind of intended.
Yeah, I think what's cool is that, you know, you can use it in combos, use it in neutral.
Yeah.
It's a multi-purpose move. You know, it's a challenge when you have an idea for a move and but then like it works in one situation, but all other situations like doesn't work out so well. So.
Yeah, it's kind of niche. It's not in some cases, but it's obviously good for combos.
Yeah.
And so her back special is no one's ever seen this move in their life. Alright, so this is you can tap special up to 4 times or 3 times after the first one. So it's maximum of 4 missiles come down.
Mortar blasts.
Yeah. Peak and they semi-track. So a disclaimer: in 1.3, they track to a certain point. They snapshot where the enemy is, and then they fall down in a linear fashion. But in an update, these are literally gonna track to a certain extent. It's not gonna be super homing, but it's gonna be good enough to use in the neutral.
So the current implementation, right? How easy would you say this is to avoid?
This is very easy to avoid right now. You can really punish her. Like you can just dash up to me and hit me. Yeah, I mean it's really just an excuse to have it as an excuse.
Yeah, I mean that's the real strength.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you know, when we were playing around with this move a while back, you know, the mortar blasts are obviously very strong, and I think that one of the strengths of it as an assist is that you just get so much time to take over. Right?
Yeah, that's the best part about it. Yeah. And also, in testing, I used to have this at 6 missiles max. So what we would do was activate and just do this and just lock them down for years. Yeah, they wouldn't be able to do anything. It would just be like,
yeah, I mean maybe they're a good anchor, you know,
maybe. Not the worst thing in the world, but
it was pretty tough to deal with before. For sure.
Yeah, it's been nerfed before, but yeah. So as an assist, obviously it's really good if you can protect her because if you hit Time Force Pink when she uses assist, the missiles will actually disappear.
You and I have some unfinished business.
What is wrong with the cooldown on this? Alright. So you hit her. Yeah, so the missiles won't come down, unlike a certain character in another franchise.
Yeah, and I think what that really means is that she has to earn this.
Yeah. And it's not even that hard to earn because you can just jump over them, right?
Yeah, I'm already having trouble. Yeah.
So if you have like red, you do cross up triple slice and make him hold the missiles.
Ooh, tricky. Yeah. Is there anything to note about like any of the normals or anything like that?
Her target combos are pretty standard. She has a low third hit or light target combo. No one should be getting hit by that.
Okay.
She has this double hit. This is probably her best normal in the game.
The stand medium.
Well, this is probably the best normal in the game, and her best normal for sure is the stand medium.
What, can you do dash in M?
Yeah. That's pretty far. Has a pretty big hitbox, and then it combos into, it links or chains into crouching medium.
Yeah. So generally, a lot of characters in the game don't really have like multi-hitting just normals, but you know she has two moves, so it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. And then it combos into this. Obviously, this is her standing heavy.
Right.
And
can you go over the difference between forward heavy and then just?
She has a forward heavy command normal, which is this.
Oh, can I give her?
Yeah. And cancel roll.
Cool.
And
Can you see the range when you dash and do that? You go like back in the screen type of deal. It goes pretty far.
It's pretty good normal, but if you jump it, you know, it's like Young's dash punch. If you jump it, neutral jump it, you can punish her. The point of it is just to extend combos, you know, or have an assist to back you up. If you juggle with it, it does a wall bounce. Yeah.
So you do that in like EX.
Yeah.
So then the difference between doing when you do just HH.
So yeah, her H is this. It's like a million stab thing. When you H again, she does a spinning knockdown version of this the forward H.
Right.
It does more damage, but it doesn't cause a ground hit reaction. So if I do standing H to forward H, I get a standing hit reaction. It means I get this. But if I do H, neutral H, then they just fly away.
So pretty much you can choose which version you want. Yeah, no matter what, after stand H, you can choose the knockdown or the hit reaction. Yeah.
I think that's about it for her.
Air dashing goes backwards. Too.
Oh yeah, if you air dash over someone and you wait until you're falling, you will get the autocorrect attack. Oh, okay, so this is a bug. You guys might know this already. This is fixed, but not in your version. If you do the falling M into cancel H, it will automatically do that.
I mean, that's still super tricky.
Yeah, that's pretty messed up.
It's still pretty tricky. Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to go to the down low H.
Yeah, and this is pretty much a scoop on block that you can punish her, I think. Ideally. Okay, maybe not.
I might need a different character. But you can cancel that anyway, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right. So would you say for block strings, is there anything good to like cancel into usually?
Yeah, so her hit confirm is basically like you do this, right? If you hit confirm, then you do this. But if they push block this, then you can get punished really hard. Yeah. So you don't want to be mindless when you do this. You want to make sure you see the sparks, and then H. Or you can trick them and do like M, down M, and then this or something.
So, and also the vault, it's the same thing where auto corrects backwards, right?
Yeah, so if you wait.
Ooh.
Yeah. And the vault also crosses up in the corner. So if you like hold back, it should. Well, that looks messed up.
But yeah, really good for cross-ups, and you can do the EX out of it. If you do vault and then hit a button on the way down, can you still EX?
Yeah, it's pretty. It's hard because that situation happened.
Oh yeah, that was really tricky.
It's because you have to get them to get hit by it.
Right. Yeah, so super, right?
Super is pretty conventional dash into cinematic super. In this version, does a lot of damage. She can probably one-hit KO most characters off of the throw.
Alright, well this is treating.
Yeah, let me throw your. Look at this one.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. So I remember how to do it. I remember how to do it. Something like that. Alright, I'm gonna try to go one more time, and then you guys will just figure it out.
Oh, that was good.
Alright, well, you get the point. Yeah.
I like that air dash and catch. Yeah. So what kind of players do you think should be gravitating towards Time Force Pink, and what kind of partners should she be? What kind of like play style, that kind of thing?
Probably players who want to win. Probably pick her. She's a really good point character, obviously. But she gets countered pretty hard by, I would say, Sentry beats her pretty badly because he covers all of these angles, you know?
Yeah.
His upshot covers these.
Yeah, back ass.
But she does a lot of damage, and it's really hard to block this stuff in our game. Yeah, she can really pressure you, and she's like plus on a lot of stuff like this. On block, she's plus. It's really hard to get her off of you. Once she gets in,
super really easy to combo.
Yeah, she's really a Marvel character. Like, and on block, like a block confirm, you do like, you know, overhead jabs, overhead dash jabs.
Oh yeah, that's right. A lot of her air normals are multi-hit as well.
Yeah.
Nice.
So she's mostly an aggressive character, but you know, she still has. She can like inch her way in with this. Yeah, it's just not as intuitive.
So how do you feel like she plays solo? I've already seen some people in the Discord, shout out to the Discord, saying that she has some trouble when she's solo.
Definitely, she has trouble when she's solo. That's a good thing. She would be pretty insane if she was good solo, like as an anchor.
Yeah, I feel like if she, like her dashes and her run speed was a little bit faster, that would already. Yeah. So yeah, we could go over like weaknesses. So
yeah, her dashes aren't the best. Like Gold's are a lot better than hers. So she has a lot of startup acceleration on her backdash.
Right.
So she's not going to be able to weave in and out as fast.
Can I see her move forward or run?
Her run forward is pretty fast though. It's like
okay.
almost as fast as Cat's.
Gotcha. Cool.
Another weakness is she's low life.
Actually, they both have 950.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. She has 900.
Oh.
Yeah. So Draken, Gold, and her all have 900 health, which is like one EX into super.
Cool. Is there anything that, I mean, I know, you know, we're constantly, we have the live version is, you know, sliced off from what we are currently working on. So are there any any changes or things that you'd like to explore, like maybe like timings or move behaviors or whatnot?
So she's gonna have an improved backdash, like slightly. It's maybe not too noticeable, but in an upcoming version, her standing medium will be easier to use in juggles. It's not like obvious, but it's just easier to do stuff like this. This is the biggest improvement in an update. It's just it'll actually track on the way. But on point, if you interrupt her, if you hit her, the missile will just go away in the next update. So she's gonna be tuned a little bit more. Obviously, if you've been paying attention to Discord, the ground basins make her pretty different to play, just like everyone else.
Any good partners in particular that people need to be partnering her with?
I mean...
that's so low!
You can block that reaction.
I mean, maybe I'm waiting for the kick. Or
okay. Draken's probably really good, but Draken's really good with everybody right now.
Sure.
I like Sentry as a character just because he just says he's pretty versatile and he's decent if you're in the space. Trini's obviously very good because she can lock you down and you can just go ham with these.
For sure.
Yeah. Red's really good because you can call Red when you do this and then he crosses you up and then you can take over, take over.
Yeah. Cool. I guess we'll get into Gold.
Yeah,
so,
let's get to Gold.
The idea, so Gold is mostly my implementation. You know, we both work on whatever. Especially Shady does a lot of the polish, but the initial design was essentially. Gold, right? Yeah. So the direction I was going is at the time when we were making Gold, I was really feeling Red. And the idea behind Gold is that, so what I like about Red is that he's very agile, like his movement and like his moves, he feels very, he doesn't feel loose, but he feels very responsive is what it is, right?
He's very snappy.
Yeah, like look how, so I wanted Gold to be sort of like, have the same feeling as Red, but of course as different as possible. So I would say, Gold is probably like a technical red. So red, he's pretty straightforward. He's supposed to be, right? Just triple slice and super, that kind of thing. The super is very straightforward. The moves are very straightforward, except maybe this one. But so the idea is that Gold, yeah, he's gonna feel like red, except his special moves, he's gonna be a bit more technical. So of course the normals. Yeah, so I'll say that. Of all the Power Ranger characters, I think Gold might be my favorite design. He just looks really cool, you know? And I really tried to take my time when it came to figuring out what the scout was going to do. Pull from the source material as much as I can. But again, yeah, he feels very much like red when it comes to dashing around and catching air moves and all that. So neutral special, Golden Pulse. This is a lot of the bad guy of the week who would finish with this. But I figured that I was gonna make the Pyramidas the super, so I still wanted to have the Golden Pulse in, right? And I'm not sure if people have figured this out yet, but with the Golden Pulse, you can not only can you mash up to 1, 2, or 3 times, but you can also cancel it into both back special and forward special, right? So yeah, Long used to give me a lot of crap about this move being like way too slow.
It's too slow.
Yeah, so yeah, it's understandable. But
it's very situational. But it's fine for moves.
Yeah. So it's really slow, but what I do like about this move is if you manage to get someone to pin someone down with this, then you get this with the Golden Crush, which is the back S, and the back S is safe on block. So really, if you like cover yourself with assist, manage to get this off. There's a few options that you have on block and on hit. So the idea is that if you get this move on hit, you can, if you get the move on hit, so mid to long range. If you
like say if I'm like doing this.
So I can do,
okay.
So I can do, Golden Pulse and cancel this into Golden Crush, right? And it's a good combo. But if I do that from very close range, it's not going to work, right? So if it so happens that I get this move from close range, I could cancel into a forward special instead, But the idea is this: you kind of have to earn this move, but once you get it, you can start some offense, right? You can either do that, or you can cancel into the Lord's Assault, right? So I'll just get into. I'll go Golden Crush first. So actually, I have to admit this is probably my favorite move. Shoutouts to Songman. The animation on this is fantastic in my opinion. Really cool move. And what you need to know about this move is that he's negative on block, but he's safe, right? So you can't punish him necessarily. Yeah, but I think
you might be even on block. It's just that
so maybe not mash yet.
It's just we don't really have frame perfect. Okay, we might be like -2.
Yeah. So you can use this again, but I think maybe if I mash my EX, I might catch it. Yeah. So I mean, if you're into playing chicken like that, you can always just if they block that, go into your EX. But yeah, this move sort of it gets you in, and if it does hit, you can combo. You can link into stand M, right? Oh, can you punish that?
Yeah, that's what I was learning now.
Punish that?
No.
Something that I forgot to mention, one of the big 1.3 changes, is actually a very small change, but it made a huge impact. So when we were testing, 1.1, 1.2, we felt that push blocking there's something off about it. And what we ended up doing is, the way that push block worked in 1.2 is that it was just, you usually get pushed on the first frame, like frame 0, essentially, or frame 1. But now we've increased it to frame 3, right? So there's a bit, it feels just a bit better with feedback, and we'll keep, seeing what we do to tune push blocking. But if you didn't notice, the push blocking feels a bit different. Like those 3 frames make a big difference to the way it feels, right? Anyway, so Golden Crush, back S, you can combo it from Golden Pulse at long range, right? Or just use it to get in, cover yourself in assist, right? Take over.
Let's do this.
So Lord's Assault. So Lord's Assault, take it straight from the show, right? It's when he starts like zhuzhing around. It's forward S, and this has several follow-ups out of it. So if I can press forward SS, it goes into Gold Rush. Right, I can't combo that on my own, but if I have assist, right, or if I hit it in the corner, I can combo it, right. And then from just starting with the Lord's Assault, you can go forward back. I can even go forward back up, or I can go forward up, forward up forward, mostly used for combos, right? So forward up forward. I can also go forward back, and if I go forward back, I can cancel into Golden Crush. and I can go forward, back, up, right? If I go forward, back, up, then I can, anytime that he ends in up Lord's Assault, I can always do like a move, right? Air move, and even if I combo it, there are some situations where I can hit you, right? And so you might want to, does this work? So really, the forward up forward is really good for extending combos. You know, it's a way to, and also if you hit anti-air, right, you can juggle afterwards. Want to end this with an EX, and also especially in the corner if you have them pinned down, so you can block right here, right? I can do this, empty low, that kind of thing, which brings me to his Air S. So the Air S is a move that we iterated on quite a bit. If you'll notice, he looks like he's doing a dive kick. So the original idea is that he was just going to do a dive kick, right? That's why the first part of it looks like a dive kick. But we figured, this is actually Log's idea, is that this should have some sort of different properties. So what we ended up deciding on is that this move actually has no invincibility and no hitbox. So he's very vulnerable throughout the whole thing of this. But what it is good at is he goes right through, so I can do a really tricky mix-up.
Yeah, it's
right?
really hard to block.
Yeah,
It's
super hard to block.
block.
And also if I do it in the corner, right, it's immediate.
Yeah.
And you can also cancel other moves into it, so I can do this, right?
It feels like fighting Zero.
Yeah. And it's also a way to get down, so if I do, if I launch on Air M, I can, you know, descend quickly. This is called Lord's Descent, right? And it's also good for after I do Lord's Assault in the air, I can end, if I just delay a little bit, right? So I can do like combos like or mix-ups like that, right? Just press this at the same time. So yeah, there's a lot of options.
It probably gives him the best incoming mix-up too, you know? This. Like, who's that?
Right when he said this, I was like, oh, I know he's gonna do that. Yeah. So, and similar to Time Force Pink is that if you are doing Lord's Assault and want to end in a normal, it will autocorrect, right? So if I get like the perfect range of doing this, and I end up on, if I end up behind, usually Air M is good to use to cross up because it's, you know, the least fussy of its air attacks, but you can also use Air Heavy if you want. Just really quick air normals, you know, pretty standard stuff. You want to be jumping in, if you're jumping in just straight up, you want to use Heavy, possibly Heavy cancel into Lord's Ascent. Or just like Red, his Air Medium, crosses up very easily. Really good tool. Not much to say about his crouching attacks. I would say bread and butter for this guy, I had a few people asking me about it, is the last, or if you do his HHH chain, you have barely enough time to link a stand M. So a good place to start with his combos is to go like LM, HHH, MH, and then you can, you know, a lot of different options you can do. Let's see, Gold Assist, it's Gold Rush, right, and I can take over. His EX is sort of like a modified version of his Lord's Assault, right, you want to end combos with that. So his super, his super is it's a bit similar to Green's, where, you know, he's calling on the Pyramidas Zord and getting some help. So the way that the super works is that you know, there's two volleys. One is the lightning going forward, the other one is lightning going back, right? And if you notice, there's a gap between it. So the idea behind the gap is that if you manage to combo the super, right now the two that I know, the two most reliable ways to combo the super without using assist is one doing after Gold Rush, and then I got a catch right after, right? And then the gap, it's meant to be like, I can decide to, you pretty much have to bridge the gap yourself to get the whole super to combo. However, if I don't want it to combo, I want it to reset, right? I'll do something like this, right? And then, you know, jump over, crosses up, and, you know, get, you know, huge damage. So I'm really curious to see what people come up with, right? Because I can even tag right here, you know, so my partners can take advantage of the lightning. But it's not the safest thing if I just do it raw. Long will be able to throw me out of it. So I can't just like sort of willy-nilly do it. You want to throw me out of this? Right, so if I do the super and you throw, kind of waste already that first volley of it, right? But again, it's one of those supers where it's kind of like greens, where it's one of the few supers that is really good to do as a proactive thing. So if I can cover myself, I do this, I can get my super out, or on someone's wake up, that kind of thing. Really powerful in that regard. I think the super, it's not. The damage on it is not sort of as high as some of the others because it's more of like a utility super, but still like has a lot of different uses, and I'm really curious to see what people come up with. Gold range, he's cool. But I think oh, and also so command normal is his donkey kick. So with the donkey kick, it's this is like a signature move. If you watch any of the Gold Zeo stuff, he is constantly like donkey kicking people, right? So the donkey kick, it's a combination. Oh, it's you can do it two different ways, right? I can do my target combo MMM. Go into my super, and then I can also do it just by pressing forward medium, the jump, right? And what's good about using it off of forward medium is that I can combo Lord's Assault afterwards. And if you start combos with the donkey kick with forward medium, it does not have as much hit stun deterioration scaling and damage scaling, I believe. So if you manage to start a combo off of forward medium, it's a really good move. So I'd say when it comes to Gold Ranger, if you really like Red Ranger, right? If you like Red Ranger, you're gonna feel right at home playing Gold Ranger. He kind of feels the same, but I think as opposed to Red Ranger, Gold Ranger is gonna take a bit of homework, right? He's not. I mean, for sure you can sort of like pick him up and start playing him, but if you want to do like a lot of the cool stuff, yeah, I would suggest doing a little bit of homework. So, what's up?
So we do have some questions for Q&A.
Okay.
I didn't know if you wanted to do it before your verses or...
We could do it right now.
You want to do it now?
Just a song back?
Not yet.
Oh yeah. So yeah, just throw whatever questions. It's questions that I'm qualified to answer.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, please.
So, first one is from Ray is Squishy. Actually, no, not this one. So one is from Tech the Master J.
Okay.
Clock.
Yes.
How does it feel to be on the other side of fighting games, coming from the player side?
Oh man, that's a really good question. So I think I don't know if what was his name again that gave the question?
Tech Master J.
So Tech Master J and whoever else in the chat, I'm not sure how familiar you are with sort of my style of playing fighting games. I'll say it's very risky. It's very like a lot of offense, go crazy, a lot of improvisation, and a lot of aggression. So it's two things, and this is something that I learned at my last position as a designer, is that it's tough when you have to design games or characters that are not necessarily for you, right? So I'll give you an example. Dragon Armor Trini is mostly my design, and I usually don't play like big body characters, right? So I had to sort of get into the mind of a big body player, shout out Ferratola, to sort of a character that archetype that I don't normally play, but still have it, feel like she's a big body and that kind of thing. So it's challenging in that regard, where since we're designing these characters, not all the characters are going to fit into the archetype that I'm used to playing. So that's challenging, and takes a lot of iteration and playtesting and whatnot. But to be honest, I'm really happy with the way Dragon Armor Trini turned out. I'll be honest, like I was a bit apprehensive when I first heard that that's the character that we were going to be doing. But yeah, I'm really happy with the way she turned out. I took some inspiration from Legacy Wars as well in her moveset. No, it's a lot of fun. It's really, I think for me, the best part is, and again, I was up until like 3 a.m. last night, reading impressions and all that. And it's really dope when, you can make a character and people sort of like, oh, that character's super fun and all that. And I think for me, especially in the case of Gold, I like characters that have like a lot of options and really like open-ended. So in the case of Gold, I purposely left like all this Lord's Assault stuff very open-ended to the point where it's really good for players who are into that sort of thing. Like make the character their own. I don't know if I was kind of rambling at that point, but yeah, I could talk about this forever. But yeah, it's. I mean, I never thought I'd be a designer, and once I became one, I never thought I'd do a fighting game. And here we are. It's really interesting experience to say the least. Yeah. Well, we could do maybe one more question and then play.
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
This goes for both of you. Who would you consider are good anchors in this game?
Trini is a really good anchor right now. She's people have already figured out some really BS setup. Like you activate and then you do random dive.
Yeah, do random dive. Yeah,
toss up lightning.
You actually have her right there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's funny that we're talking about Trini because I was just talking about her. She's a character where every game needs to have a character where you could just do stuff and it happens. Yeah, I don't want to say brain dead.
I would say brain dead. That's perfectly fine. I play a lot of brain dead characters.
Yeah, me too for sure. But yeah, she's a character where you can just throw stuff out. You get like immediate payoff, right? Yeah.
And there's counterplay there. You can react to this stuff. People like I'm not saying I can, but if you look carefully, one of them has an obvious
a little jump.
The forward special has a pump. This one is more subtle. Yeah. So if you can train yourself to see that, you can punish her pretty hard.
Yeah. I would say characters that have really like not so much utility characters, but characters that are really good at mobility because when you are an anchor, you're probably gonna have to deal with the other with the opponent's Zord, right? So characters that are really good at getting around Zords is a good one too. So I think Red Ranger is really good at moving around. Udana can use her air special to sort of remove herself from a lot of dangerous Zord situations. Trini, a lot of characters that can take advantage of Zords and defend against Zords, I think are good anchors. And what's interesting is that some of the characters that are considered like really high damage, like Magna and Green Ranger, these guys don't have as much strength as anchors just because they're not as
they can't force you to sit there as well.
Oh, the gets her. She's so huge.
Oh yeah.
If that happens.
It's pretty thick.
Yeah. Oh, and I think I mentioned this last stream too, but we have regular crouching hit reactions now. Crouch down, yeah. So one problem that Trini had before is that pretty much all the stuff was standing her up, and
everything was an instant overhead forever, so the whole time.
So that's kind of a buff for Trini, right?
Yeah.
Should we do one more question, or should we just get into the matches?
Would you like to answer more?
We can just answer more afterwards. Yeah, you want to play some matches?
Okay.
Let's do it first of 3.
I'll tell you after.
I'll ask you whether that's gonna work.
Oh yeah.
Oh! Team! Who designed this character? Why is he so broken?
Wake up, stroke. Oh, I didn't believe him.
What happened? What's going on? That's so cheap. So why are you allowed to do that?
Oh, jeez.
That's the worst thing.
You're under arrest.
You're under arrest, bro.
Dead?
someone get bodied.
What? What happened? Wait, what are you doing?
I think I stunned you, right?
Yeah,
Whoa, yeah, we air blocked.
definitely cannot react even with the B effect.
Yeah.
Even with the B effect.
Buddy. Nice push block. What? I'm not gonna play that move.
Let's go. That's just super.
You and I have some unfinished business.
Let's go.
Top player. Oh no! This is not good. Am I dead? Ooh. Oh.
Is this a good idea?
Yeah, probably.
Must be right. What?
Oh, is that gonna work in this? Of course.
Ah! Fudge!
Oh,
I
you
did.
combo.
I did dash.
Dropped it.
I did dash fast enough.
Cheap. That's gonna be adjusted in the next week. I promise. It's not gonna be that invincible.
Oh, yeah.
It's gonna be invincible to a certain extent, but it's not gonna be Psylocke anymore.
Okay. For this.
How am I blocking this? Oh, I didn't block it. No!
Oh!
Nope. Oh, no. Watch this.
Stop.
Let me bully him.
Oh!
What is it? Wait, who am I?
I think you're going.
Oh, damn.
Let's go. For the grid.
That did not work.
This spiral's way too good. It's too good for that.
Let's go, Jacket.
Ouch. Oh my god.
Oh, what? I don't know why that happened. Oh, dude,
Try to
go
take
on some of that.
Yeah. Dude, what? Is this still going?
Alright.
Oh! What?
Oh!
Sword! Thank you. Thank you. I almost forget.
Alright.
Better luck next time.
Better luck next time.
I'll try this guy.
giggling about over there.
About I even up the score.
Three, two, one, fight!
Power up! Power up!
Ow!
Power up!
Oh my god. Am I dead?
Maybe.
I
Oh my god!
should have been dead. Yeah. Oh! Do your worst. Oh my god! Yes, let's go!
Oh my god!
Let's have it. Oh, I hate all of that.
Oh, I could have got punished for that.
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Let me try it.
Oh, what? Oh, damn. Died. Get electrocuted over here.
Ah, the missiles!
We would put that assist in this game.
Yeah, we need to talk to them first.
That's how we do it, Cat Ranger style.
Two, two.
Is it? Okay. All the marbles.
Stop. Oh my god.
This character does so much damage.
Eat fire!
Jesus.
Seriously?
Seriously?
I totally went the wrong way.
Yo.
Oh, run.
Man, my scenario's looking mad fraudulent. It's looking fraudulent.
I call upon the power of pyramids. It's time for
Oh no. Oh, that was a mistake. That was bad.
power up.
Oh my god.
Oh no, that's so bad. That's so bad, dude.
Super bad. I'm gonna get.
Yeah, no, it's not gonna work properly. Yeah. I fixed that.
They can give you a hand.
Oh, wow.
It's time. I call upon the power of pyramids.
I think you got this one. There's nothing I gotta do about this.
Power up. Power up.
should have just activated.
Okay. Oh, dude. Oh, what's up? Oh my god.
Oh yes. Oh. Hey, nice games, nice game. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Again, it's really the fan support that motivates us to keep going. And again, improving the game is an ongoing effort. As long as we can get the support, we will deliver as much as we can. I'm really glad, and all the feedback for 1.3 is really helpful. Please, shout us out, hit us up, create content, all of that. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Take it.